Hi everyone. Today we have Darko Mandich, co-founder of MeliBio. So Darko, could you introduce about yourself?
Thank you for having me, Ayako. Excited for all the people on the podcast that are following these videos. Excited to share about myself and the company that I co-founded. So my name is Darko Mandich, and I'm one of the two co-founders of MeliBio, a food technology company from San Francisco Bay Area that my co-founder Aaron Schaller and I incorporated in 2020, and recently, a few weeks ago, sold to a Swiss company called FoodYoung. So we've been on this journey for almost 6 years of building innovative technology to take the same plants that bees visit in nature and turn them into honey that's made without bees, that tastes like real honey, looks like real honey, and behaves like real honey in recipes. We've been supported by amazing group of investors to make this happen, including a investor from Japan called the Future Food Fund, that is one of our investors, one of our most recent investors that supported the company with their investment.
All right. So today, Mino and I, so we have so many questions for you. We'd like to start from Mino's questions then.
Thank you for Darko joining us. So I'm very happy to meet with you. So I can't believe that. What is this? Honey without bee.
Yeah, so we decided to make honey without bees because there are so many challenges around commercial honey manufacturing. Biggest one from the environmental side is that there are 20,000 species of bees, but only European honeybees are making honey on a large scale. So in places like Japan, for example, you have European honeybees making honey on a commercial scale, and that's not great for the other bee species. There's this artificial competition between bee species, and we thought that if we can make honey directly from the plants, we can directly support native bee species to thrive in many different parts of the world. And why is that important, and why should people care? It's because the bee biodiversity is directly tied to the planet's ability to process CO2. We need bees to keep our planet alive, and we identified that specifically large-scale honey manufacturing is not great for the bees, is not great for the planet. MeliBio, the company that I co-founded, came up with this innovative approach to create the technology that doesn't involve bees, and because of that, to make a positive impact on all these ecosystems around the world. There's a couple of beautiful species of native bees in Japan that can thrive, and there could be more of these bees if there's enough space for them to thrive and flourish. And this technology of ours allows that. Next to the environmental impact, there's this problem with supply chain security. A lot of countries, including Japan, are heavily reliant on importing honey from a couple of different regions in the world. We wanted to empower states, Europe, Japan, to be able to self-manufacture the product for their consumers. And that's also one of the reasons, next to the climate and environment, why we started this.
How did you discover this ultra niche market of bee-free honey and decide to commercialize it?
The story starts with honey. Honey is a very big market because if you think of honey, it's not only honey that people can buy in a jar. Honey is in bars, granola, in cosmetics. So if you walk into a supermarket, you'll see honey in every product category. So honey is everywhere. It's a $15 billion global market. Interesting thing tied to Japan is that Japan self-manufactures only about 6% of honey that Japanese consumers consume within a year. So over 90% of honey consumed in Japan is imported. The reason how I came around this problem and this industry is that before launching MeliBio, I used to work for food companies in Europe that are focused on offering honey in their portfolio. So I've been familiar with the industry. I've been working with several of the largest ingredients and honey companies in the world. And it has been a problem that I've been feeling myself in that industry. So it's, being exposed to that industry before changing it has been something that was a unique opportunity for me to take part of that industry and see all these problems by myself.
Before launching your new company, you had been working in the the traditional, the honey companies so many years. How does your interest in the food business come from? Yes. So that's from the young ages or some other trigger in your life?
Yeah, it's definitely from the young age because I've always been a foodie. I
Mhm.
grew up in a
Mhm.
family, Southeast Europe, that appreciates food, Mediterranean cuisine
Mhm.
mostly.
Mhm.
Within my family, I always found food as a place
Mhm.
that gets us all together around the table. In Serbia, in the country where I grew up, it's
Mhm.
very common that when you have guests coming over, that you
Mhm.
serve them the best food, that you get around the table, that when there are big holidays, families, extended families get together. So food has been pretty much the center from a very young age. And then
Mhm.
as I was growing up, I was getting very excited about technology and science and humans' ability to advance knowledge within science. And then I merged food and science and technology, and
Mhm.
that's how I ended up in the food tech and
Mhm.
the health tech world.
It was very natural to join the food industry. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like something we have in common. Japanese people are also foodies, right? And having meal is one of the way to reconnect or reunion as a family. So that was very interesting to know, and also like I feel very empathy for that too. And why did you choose San Francisco for the basement of your business?
Growing up in Serbia was pretty important for me and my food career because Serbia manufactures high quality food, especially raspberries. Raspberries from Serbia are among the best in the world.
Mhm.
Also, Serbia exports a lot of high quality premium honey. So, growing up in Serbia, I was able to be connected with the agriculture and farmers and growers, and that was very important to me. The reason I decided to come to San Francisco is because, as an entrepreneur, as someone who is excited about the future, San Francisco is uh, generally the capital of the future. It's the place where the future technologies are being built. And in 2019, when I made the big move to immigrate from Serbia to San Francisco, California, United States, was a time when the food tech community was really flourishing here. And at that time, next to Singapore and Israel, that was one of the three spots in the world where a lot of cool food technology things have been happening. 6 years later, San Francisco is important, but there are places like Tokyo, there are places like Western Europe where a couple of other food tech hubs have been born and are growing. So I think these days there are more options. But at that time, I felt that San Francisco is one of the three main hubs for food tech. And I came here and decided to launch my company here.
Did you find it a right decision, or
Yeah.
there any difficulties?
It's not easy to be in a new country and
Mhm.
build a team and lead a team in a language that's not your first language. It's obviously getting a little bit out of your comfort zone, but I've enjoyed it. And even after, selling the company, I'm still staying in San Francisco because I love it. For me, coming to the US, the first thing was navigating the immigration journey, which can be rather time and resource consuming. Fortunately for myself and my family, it worked out pretty nicely. We got we partnered with the right people. We understood the immigration process, and we were fortunate that the U.S. wanted me to stay here and build. So that was the kind of the first thing, and the other thing is kind of launching a company in a culture that's new. For me, American business culture was not totally unfamiliar because I've been doing business with the US before immigrating to the US.
Yeah.
But coming here and having a company here, it's been a new thing. So learning a lot about people, learning a lot about the differences between how things are being said in the European business culture and in the US culture. At some point, asking yourself, okay, what are some of the traits and parts of your business identity from before that you want to keep, and what are some of the new things, because I really believe that we are all on a lifelong journey. And if we live in different places, we absorb certain things we give to the community that we're part of. So just going through that self-discovery journey of saying what are going to be the things that I'm going to adopt, what are going to be the things that I'm going to insist on keeping on, and then just telling people around you, like acknowledging in your team that you come from a different culture, telling your team that if you're not smiling, sometimes that doesn't mean that you're upset with their work. It's just there are days when you don't smile because back in Europe we don't smile that much.
Right.
So just kind of navigating through those cultural things. And I think the best way to do that is just to have many conversations with people around you. And that's
Mm.
something that I've been doing for myself. And I've seen that it's working with people. If I sit down with my team and tell them, hey team, sometimes my desire for making things happen, for achieving a goal, makes me just obsessed with that, and I don't get to maybe do a small talk or smile just because I'm laser focused on that. That doesn't mean that I'm upset or mad or anything, just means that I'm doing that. So
Mm.
a lot of these conversations, and
Yeah.
I think after 6 years of living here, if I go back to Eastern Europe, some of the things that some of my former colleagues, they could probably see, oh my god, he's American now. But there are some things that
Yeah.
I'll always be having with me
Mm.
that I brought from Europe that will always make me European here in the United States. So kind of navigating and balancing things out and just being fine with having many conversations and the necessary conversations that have the goal of making people around you feel comfortable
Mm.
having you around.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, I know that adapting the new environment, the new place, new people, and new different culture is not so easy for you. So that I totally understand how struggled you were in the first year, maybe the second year, third year, maybe, but you are totally adjusting the new place.
So after selling your company, you're still in San Francisco, and is there any reason for it?
I love the community here. I love the friends that I've built here, friendships that I built here. I love the topics that are being discussed in San Francisco. I don't know if I'm gonna live here forever because I definitely want to check out a few other parts of the world that I
Mhm.
feel excited about. But for now, I'm staying in San Francisco because I think it's a great place to build companies that are shaping the future of their industries. And it's also great to be around and see other founders and other startups doing the same and maybe helping some of them that are maybe in their pre-seed, super early stage, and maybe transfer some of the knowledge that I've accumulated in the past 6 years.
So sounds like San Francisco still has a lot of things to attract you still there. So is there any country which you might be interested in moving to?
I'm thinking about a couple of places. I don't know the order, and I don't know when will this happen. But at some point, definitely, I want to be more present in Asia. I think Asia has a lot to offer, and I traveled to different countries in Asia for business and for family and personal individual travel, and I've enjoyed many countries in Asia. At some point, I also want to come back to Europe and share some of the knowledge and expertise in Europe. So I'd say definitely I would see myself having a chapter in Asia and a chapter in Europe. And maybe, at some point be surprised. Maybe there are cities and places that I'm not thinking about right now that can come up to be the right place for the next chapter.
If you have the advice to the non-tech founders to succeed in deep tech, do you have any key secrets, idea, or advice to entrepreneurs?
I was fortunate to lead one of the best scientific teams in the world. And not being a scientific co-founder, that opportunity meant a lot to me because it was a personal and professional challenge. I think that you don't have to be technical to lead a technical team. You have to have an amazing team and you have to have the right people in right places that can help you make great things happen. For me, a very important thing was that my co-founder, Dr. Schaller, and our CTO, he is a technical person who knows the non-technical and technical role. So having him by my side was helping me a lot. What I personally have been doing is really trying to understand the matter a lot, trying to read about the science that we're doing, educate myself, and trying to ask the right questions and work with the team. Acknowledge the place where I come from, which is not a place of having a scientific background, but asking questions that really made sense for the science and the journey that we've been doing. And thanks to these amazing people in the team, I've always felt that my perspective has been valued, because quite often scientific teams can get too scientific, and sometimes they actually need someone non-scientific to help ask the right questions. So I'd say my advice is get the right people, acknowledge the place where you come from, and build an atmosphere in which it's actually being celebrated if you bring a diverse background, and work with your team to help you add the valuable perspective that no other team member can do.
Which aspect is a little bit difficult for you to find the right person or the right place and some of the...
We've been doing the most difficult part of our science has been the precision fermentation part of the process that we've been doing. And precision fermentation is a growing science and industry, and there's a lot of knowledge, but also there's a lot of challenges. It's a very expensive science to do. So for us, it has always been challenged to find the right balance between people who understand that science from the scientific angle, but also have the industry experience and understand the scale-up challenges. So sometimes, the exciting part about a new science is that it's new, but that's also the biggest challenge about it.
I see. Makes sense pretty much.
You're continuously learning about new technology, always something to catch up. I was wondering how you make the time for yourself, because you work hard. Like, how do you find your time to do, a new learning?
I actually don't believe in this concept that people don't have time. I don't believe in that. I believe that for the most important things, you prioritize your schedule. I've always thought of my schedule as something that I can only fill up to a certain percent, because when you are leading teams and when you want to learn new things, you always need to leave some space to allow yourself, if there's a new problem or challenge, that you always have a few hours left aside. And for that to be possible, you can't fill up your calendar with meetings and perfectly plan things. So my approach in finding time is making the time for the right things and making sure that I don't overcrowd my schedule with so many things that don't allow me to have time to address something that's new and learn about something. For example, if I want to, have a meeting, like if there's an opportunity to talk to a scientific advisor, or personally, if there's an opportunity, if a friend of mine is in town and I learn about that and they're only in the town for 2.5 days, I will always find 1 hour for a friend, even on a no notice, because I don't fill up all of my calendar with different slots and kind of leave no time to address something that's new, something that comes up. When I talk to people, and when people, especially founders, when they're complaining, oh my God, I don't have time, I just think you have to own your schedule and you have to not fill it up entirely, so you can have some flexibility to maybe jump onto something, learn fast, find time to meet someone who can accelerate you and things like that.
Actually, that will give insights for many people who want to start new things but hesitate doing some extra additionally to their work and their personal life. So your conscious way to spend some time of your life is very very meaningful advice for me as well. And I was wondering, so if like starting up your business and also exiting from it was something you have planned from before, or how did it come up?
When you start a business, you're passionate about a certain problem and solutions that you can bring. When you start a business, you don't think about exiting. The thing is, our business is venture backed, and if you take venture capital, you have to exit at some point. So we had that in the back of the mind, but that was not something that we prioritized entirely. We prioritize building something that makes sense and delivering impact. Past few years in the food tech space have not been easy. The market has been really hard. I think this thing with exit comes a little bit sooner than what we originally wanted. But the market conditions right now require consolidation and require larger partners stepping up and helping strategically. And that's what happened in our case. We've connected with a company in Switzerland called FoodYoung. They have 145 years of heritage in building food ventures, a lot of experience, cutting edge facility in Switzerland. There's this whole culture and ethos around culinary craftsmanship in their team. They have a team that makes delicious, innovative products, and they just have more resources than we do, and they have a different timeline. They are not a venture-backed company right now, and they are on a different timeline. So when this opportunity came across, we thought that this could be a good way to have a next chapter for MeliBio, and this is how this strategic acquisition happened. And yeah, I'm excited about the new chapter, and I'm excited about how what Aaron and I built within MeliBio is now living under a roof of something that can even make a bigger impact. And as an entrepreneur, you feel grateful when things like that happen. Obviously, if the market has been in a little bit better place, I think we would be trying solo ourselves for a little bit of time. But sometimes you need to be aware of market conditions and act when you have a small window of opportunities. And that's we've taken that window of this opportunity.
I see. So at the same time, you put 100%, maybe like more than 100% of your power into your business. And also along with having some commitment to your business, you also have some room to adjust to the market and also the speed of industry change. Another question from me is to understand your motivation for the work as well.
I've always been taking action. I've always felt that, being alive means taking action and making the world around yourself better, because selfishly for us and unselfishly for future generation that are going to be around here. So without any kind of deep science and philosophy, I've always loved to be in motion, and I've always loved to do things around topics that I'm passionate about and try to give my contribution to the larger humanity's contribution of making the planet a better place for everyone.
That's very inspiring.
Thank you for asking.
And also, I feel that you have some, authenticity, which is quite rare. I feel like in this world, people put their shields up and, arm things up. But your way of communication and your way of life feels quite natural, for me, communicating, when it's needed, and also move forward and not just taking from the society and community, you also giving them back, giving your energy back. So yeah, I'm very inspired. Thank you very much.
Thank you for saying that. I think it comes from a place where I believe that for me to be successful in this world and to be successful in business ventures and career, I find that success comes from me unlocking a lot of value for other people. And it's not a game in which someone has to lose so that I would win. I think I really believe that there's so much value that needs to be generated that there's almost like a world of no competition out there. And I believe I come from that place that people can sense that and feel that. And yeah, I've wanted to stay true to myself in all these, ventures. And sometimes it's not easy because sometimes the world of business needs you to be kind of more competitive, and that's fine. Of course, business is about running really fast and making sure that you're delivering a lot of victories. But overall, my philosophy is that I believe there's more value to be unlocked and captured than thinking that it's always that one same pie and you have to fight for a bigger piece of the pie. I believe there's pie, there's sushi, there's more pies, there's it's kind of multi-dimensional versus 2D or 3D.
Like more than just sharing a pie, like we can create another pie together, that kind of way of thinking, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank
Or
you.
ramen, maybe ramen.
Yeah.
Right.
I see. I see.
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting. I'm gonna try to eat your amazing product, Melody. I think this is a US brand name. So is it possible to get this Melody in Japan right now?
Right now, it's not possible to get melon in
Okay.
Japan. Sorry.
Mhm.
The only way is if you have a friend in the US that's
Okay.
coming, will bring you a jar. My best recommendation for everyone, if you're ever in New York, there's a restaurant called 11 Madison Park. It's a 3 Michelin star restaurant that serves plant-based foods. And I recommend have a little store as well. So I recommend going there, having an amazing lifetime experience. At least do it once, have amazing meals, and some of it will include melody. And also, there's a store with artisanally curated version of products, and you can buy melody there.
What is the next mission for you?
Yeah, right now I'm really focused on making sure that MeliBio and Melody thrive within the FoodYoung. So I'm right now helping transition to happen. And after that, there are a couple of exciting things that I'm gonna need to wait for a near future to come so I can speak about those. But right now, it's making sure that everything is done right, so that the FoodYoung team is empowered to integrate Melody and MeliBio into their systems.
For now, so PMI is your next mission. And is there anything you are interested for the next career?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love when my next thing brings certain knowledge from the previous thing, but also makes me to learn more. So I'm excited to bring a lot from the existing experience, but also to be challenged to acquire new knowledge and expertise, learn more, and then, unlock more value.
I see. So what do you call like your 3 strengths and 3 key things you want to develop?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always thinking about how to become a better leader and manager. I think about those two sometimes together, but sometimes separate because, managerial work sometimes is really about achieving the goals and plans. But then, there's the leadership side of how do you inspire the team and how do you, think of the long-term visions and things like that. And then next to that, I would really think about how do you read the near future. I think the far future, it's kind of maybe a little bit more difficult to read, but there are ways of becoming better in acquiring skills and building a network that helps you understand what comes next in the next 2, 3, 4 years.
Thank you so much. That was all questions from my side. Do you have any other question, Mino?
No question from my side, but I'd like to get your message to the audience, the final part.
My main thing for the audience is just learn about the food system, learn about how food is made. Generally, be open around new ways that the food that you really know and love is being made, because the planet's ability to feed us is becoming more and more limiting. And it's really about the new knowledge and science and incorporating that together with tradition, so that we create sustainable food systems. So I'm not gonna take time to kind of promote separately company. I'd rather promote people's excitement and learning about the food systems and how food is made, and kind of be open to try new things. Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato.
ありがとうございます。
Amazing.